Hey everyone, Alex Bennett here, Director of Athletic Performance at the PGA Tour Performance Center at TBC Sawgrass. Today I'm going to take you through kind of a little more advanced version of my moves I would do if you're stuck sitting at a desk all day and you want to make sure when you get off of work you're ready to perform, at pickleball, at tennis, golf, whatever it may be. Or if you just want to overall feel better, you feel like you get done with work and you've been through 10 rounds of a fight. There's a lot of those of you like that out there where you get done and you're like, man, I just feel like crap. So this is going to be a great routine for you. I do have a beginner version as well. I can always link it in the bio. This is going to be kind of an intermediate version, and then I'm going to also do an advanced version as well. It'd be great if you don't know if you're a beginner or whatever, start at the beginner section, and if you do it and you're like, that was okay, I don't feel, I feel better, but I feel like I can do more. You can definitely do the beginner as like a warm-up to the intermediate, and the intermediate as a warm-up to the advanced. So hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments, and I'll get to them as best I can. So this first move is focused on kind of getting some internal rotation by resetting the pelvis, getting the posterior chain activated, but also getting some deep belly breaths. It's going to really help loosen up our low back, especially our lumbar, but it's also going to help our pelvis get in a better position, a more neutral position. So we're coming up. We're going to get the legs 90 degrees. You can use a couch. You don't have to have a bench. So right here on parallel, we're going to actually internally rotate, and then we're going to tuck the hips. And we're just lifting up about this much off the ground just so you can fit your hands underneath. So we feel our core engaged, we feel our hammies engaged, we probably feel our hips engaged. And then we're just going to keep our hands on our chest. We want just our belly to move while we're breathing. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to do 2 sets of 10 breaths here. You might be thinking, wow, we just jumped right into this. If we're at the intermediate stage, like this video says, we've already rolled out. We know what we're doing when that happens, but we're using our ball, we're using our foam roller. We're using a hyperized gun if we have one, just to get some blood flow to the muscles after sitting all day. This is a great move to do, especially if you travel a lot. So we're going to feel like that was 10 breaths. Like I was saying, this is a great move if you travel a lot. What happens a lot of times on a plane is we're sitting and we're not sitting balanced. We're usually leaning one way, we're looking at our phone, we're reading a book, we're typing on a laptop. Pelvis gets out of alignment, we get off the plane, we're like, man, my low back feels like crap after traveling. That's why. So definitely a great move to do after you travel. On to the next. So here we're doing some banded cat-cows. So we just reset the pelvis. Now we're going to turn on the low abs. We're also going to get some more decompression in the low back, but we're really going to focus on our breathing and what that does for our tuck and our core engagement. We really want to feel our core suck in as we produce a full exhale out of our mouth. So I like to use this band, especially for cueing, because it just cues that posterior tuck of the hips. What I find a lot of times is we don't actually tuck our hips all the way under. We're just kind of arching and rounding our back, which is not really what we're trying to achieve with this move. So we're going to put this right on our low back. We're going to go hands through, get the arms and legs kind of 90 degrees apart here, parallel. We're going to feel that band pull us into the arch. We're going to do a big inhale here. And then we're going to start the exhale before we start the tuck. It's important to do that to get that proper core engagement. So now we're going to, and I did a full exhale there, so it's hard for me to talk, but then we're going to go, you're going to start to feel you can tuck that tailbone more and more. You might even feel a little bit of a pull right on that tailbone. That's a nice stretch. Good. Whew. And like always, we're going to do 10 breaths. We're going to do 2 sets right there. So now we're gonna address getting some length through the hamstrings, and I'm gonna have you get a little bit to the side. We're really gonna focus on this outside of this leg. I find this gets very tight, especially on those who travel and sit a lot, and that just comes from, once again, our pelvis getting out of alignment. So we're gonna take that band, we're gonna go right underneath the ball of the foot, and then we're just gonna straighten that leg, we're just gonna rock back, and let those arms just kind of hang and put some dead weight. I don't want you pulling a ton. It's a gentle stretch. So we're pointing those toes back towards us, and then right here, I'm pretty much parallel. I'm feeling that stretch all through the back of the leg. I'm gonna shift it over just about 3 inches. That's all it takes. Now I feel it all the way down to my hip. And same thing, we're pointing that toe. Don't let the toes get this way, don't let them get this way. We're just keeping them neutral. And once again, we're just letting the weight of the arms kind of pull on that leg and get that stretch. And now same thing, we're gonna go into those 10 deep breaths. All right, we're gonna pretend that 10. I have no idea how many I did right there, but we're gonna switch feet. And the reason I want you to switch, and while I do it with you, sometimes I don't show you both sides for video's sake, but this left side on me is much tighter. I'm gonna feel those toes go back. I'm only gonna be able to move it about 2 inches, maybe even an inch. I don't know, I might've given myself 2 inches, who knows? I have trouble gauging inches, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so we're just feeling those toes go back. We're just breathing into the belly again. And if you find you're someone that gets a lot of like right side of the low back pain, I think you're gonna find that this left one is much tighter than the right. And it might go against what you would think, but a lot of times that crisscross pattern is way more prevalent than same side. Same thing, we're just breathing. 10 breaths. Good. Then we're just gonna bend that leg. We're just gonna come up. You can do 2 sets. Hell, you can do 3 sets if you want. So this one here you can do just on like a countertop and awning. Make sure it's at least shoulder height, maybe even higher would be fine as well. You don't absolutely have to have a fancy kind of dowel rod like this. If you have an old 3-wood or a 2-iron or something you don't care about and it's a little lower than this, obviously that's okay. A hockey stick's great as well. Something that you're not going to push down on and break, essentially. Don't snap your driver and come seeking me in my comments, okay? So we're just going to put this out here. This is going to be the exact same feeling as what we did with the cat-cow with the band on the low back. Same breath, same everything. Now we're working that posterior tuck while we're getting some thoracic extension. We're getting a lot of length through the lats. So it's important. Put the hands on top. You can, if you have shoulder pain, you can absolutely put them on the side just like this. I'm going to go on top here, and then as we go down, we're gonna do a lot of breathing. My mic's kind of muffled just because I'm putting it up near my face. But, so we're gonna come down. Good. And once again, 10 breaths. You can do 2, 3 sets, whatever you feel is necessary at the time. Like I said, if you're having shoulder pain, feel free to grab the pole down here. That's it for the intermediate video. I'm definitely going to be sharing the advanced video as well. That's when we get more into our activations and like kind of corrective strength work that I'd have people do as soon as they get off a plane, get off of work, whatever it may be, especially for you guys that are playing like pickleball or tennis, something super active. You'd be very shocked. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys know how many injuries occur playing pickleball. And most people are like, oh, it seems pretty safe. I'm only moving, this. And I'm like, yeah. And then they, tear an MCL or something like that. So the advanced version I'm going to put up is definitely for those of you that are getting a little more active straight from work. I'm going to try and keep it quick, keep it short, but it's super important for you to do. Once again, we're going to jump right into those corrective work. I'm assuming that you guys know what you're doing beforehand. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to get them. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you guys.